Welcome to another exciting edition to GroveCityHockey Presents
Hockey in our neck of the woods, and you, sir, were a very talked about person towards the end.
I'm a fifth-year senior, kind of. Well, it's my sixth year of college. Incredible.
Hey guys, we want to say thank you to our sponsor, Cutshield, for bringing you this episode. Make sure you check them out on the link below and use the promo code for 25% off your order. Used by all 32 NHL teams and players, Cutshield is the premier protective player clothing designed by players for players. Their innovative cut-resistant clothing has prevented serious injury to numerous players, including over 30 NHL players. Cutshield gives you the peace of mind to go out and play without worrying about injury. Use our promo code GroveCityHockey, all lowercase and no space, for an additional 25% off your order today. Welcome to GCH Podcast. I'm your host, Ben W. Stock, and with me is a very special guest, all the way from France, playing for the Villeneuve team in France, is Daniel Brabec. How you doing, brother?
Hello, I'm doing great. And you?
Fantastic. You know, we got hit with some snow, but got it all cleared out. Got the crib taken down for the wife because she's getting rid of that. So, hopefully I did enough around the house so I don't get yelled at.
Awesome. I hope so.
Yeah. So you also are the goaltender for the Czech national team. You guys were in the Worldskategames this few months ago, and you had a phenomenal tournament. Made it all the way to the finals. I want to talk to you a little bit about the semifinal matchup that you guys had with Namibia, because it seemed like everybody was talking about Namibia and how they were rocking. They had a phenomenal tournament as well, but they just fell short. But before we get to that aspect of it, tell us a little bit about your journey and how you started out playing hockey.
Okay. Well, I started when I was around 3-4 years old, as everybody in the Czech Republic. Mm-hmm. So ice hockey, because my dad was a hockey player, and I didn't like it first because I didn't like skating, but then I get used to it a little, and once I was 8, I was bothering my dad so much to be a goaltender. He didn't want to because he was a player himself, and but I was really bad at skating, and I didn't want to learn it and do it all over again. So I was just blocking the shots in front of my own goalie. So I started as a goalie when I was 8 and playing ice hockey until I was 21. But I started to play roller hockey at the same time with ice hockey when I was 17. Because the roller hockey in Czech Republic is only like a month and a half season. So I could do that. It was perfect match to play ice hockey. And then when it stopped, I had a couple of weeks free, and then roller hockey. So it was awesome. So yeah, once I switched when I was 21 to full roller hockey, I already played a couple of months in Czech, which is a really good league. And I already played a couple of world championships. So that's about it. And now it's my 10th year in France.
Oh, that's awesome. And have all 10 years been with Villeneuve?
No. So once I reached the clubs, they actually, I don't know if they didn't know me or they didn't want me. Well, that's what it was. I mean, everybody rejected me beside one team that won N1, which is the second tier league in France. The name is Garches, the Tigers of Garches. So I reached out to them and brought the 2 Czech teammates with me. I stayed 4 years in Garches. Then I went 3 years with Rattel, and now it's my 4th year in Villeneuve. So 10 years, 3 teams.
Awesome. And you guys have been you guys did pretty well this past year, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we won the league. We lost in semifinals of the French Cup, but then we won the playoffs. So yeah, we're the champions currently.
Cool. Now tell us a little bit about that? Because I know in Spain they have 4 tournaments throughout the year. They have like the Copa del Rey, which is I think is like the King's Cup. Do you guys have something like that in the France league or in the French league?
So we have the French Cup, like in France, like in Italy and Spain, and then we have the Ligue. So it's the same. And the third league is the European League.
European, yep.
But we didn't participate because the teams kind of like agreed 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks before the cup, so like the club decided not to go, and it was not a nice place or whatever what they said. But it's that stuff, with the organization. We don't know. Yeah. We still don't know today if and where we're gonna play the European League. So the decision time it's complicated for us.
Yeah.
And the Spanish and Italian leagues, what they have and we don't, is their Super Cup, which is basically the winner of the league against the winner of the cup. They play only one game. It's before the league. Yeah. And winner of that game is like Super Cup winner. So we don't have that. It's like a kind of soccer trophy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. I would like it here, but yeah. So we only have 3 cups to win in France.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. No, I thought so because when I interviewed Kevin Mooney, he talked a little bit about that as well. Kevin plays with Club Molina. I think he's coaching this year as well as playing. So, guy's got his hands full this season. But seems like the team is off to a good start there. And I follow a little bit of the French League on YouTube. I get updates every so often. Hey, game of the week, or is coming up with Rethel and Cons was another one that keeps popping up from time to time, along with Villeneuve and Verazon. I think that's how you say that, right?
Verazon, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys are. It seems like a lot of those teams are right up there at the top echelon. How would you equate the level of play, in France versus? I don't know if you had a chance to really gauge some of the other, like the Italian teams or the Spanish teams.
Well, I would say I only played like 4 months in Spain, and it's really a long time ago. I was 19 years old, so it's like 12, 13 years ago, and the league changed a lot and a lot of imports. So the French league is the best in Europe. In Spain, the hockey is a little different. They have usually a little bigger rinks, and they skate a lot, and they're a lot faster. So it's different sport, I would say. And then Italy, every team is different, and they don't even have steel mat as the first floor. Like they do, but not every team.
Right.
For example, in France and I believe in Spain. I believe in Spain it's mandatory. You have to have a plastic floor. In France, in elite, everybody have that, but not in Italy. And French league's the best. Then Spanish, and the lowest is Italian.
Yeah.
You can see it on the imports. I believe in Italy there's only 1 import in the whole league. So.
Oh wow! So that I didn't know. But yeah, and I believe France also has a second tier as well, like, and maybe even a third tier if I'm not mistaken.
There is 5 tiers if I'm not mistaken.
5 tiers. So there's a lot of roller hockey in France, which most people probably don't even realize. I didn't even realize that there was 5 tiers. Which is amazing. So you have your top tier, then you have your tier just below, and then you have like don't you guys have like a almost not like a super tournament, but like where you play teams from the 2nd division and teams from the 3rd division?
That's the French Cup.
French Cup. Okay, yeah.
So the French Cup starts even before the league starts with the lowest teams, like regional and N4, which is basically the same thing. And then a month later, like the N3 teams are added to the brackets. So then there's another game. And November, you add N2 teams. And now we're late December, and the elite teams will be added. And majority of the teams down below, they already lost their game. But it's great competition. Me personally, I love it because even if you're N4 and 3 team, you still have a chance to win the French Cup. I mean,
Mhm.
there's not a big chance, but you can. It's possible.
Yeah.
So we usually play a lower tier team. For example, next week it's our first French Cup game,
Mhm.
and we play against Rouen, which is one of the best teams in N1. So we could have way worse team than that. And I would like to, because usually the elite team play away, so it's like a game of a year for those low tier teams. So
Mhm.
it's great, like a lot of kids are super pumped to see us play in their hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we play Rouen, our first French Cup game next week. This
Yeah,
week.
and I believe last year there was some excitement because there was an N2 team that made it pretty far in the French Cup, if I'm not mistaken.
There was N1 team Rouen. They made it to
Yeah.
Carpentier last year.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not gonna be that easy, Like, I mean,
No.
usually we take N2 and 3 team as a first game, and now it's N1 team. I mean, we should win. I hope it would be bad, but yeah, it's that's the magic of that tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's awesome. And then this past a few months ago, you were able to represent your home country of the Czech Republic, playing in the World Skate Games. What a phenomenal tournament you guys had. You guys pretty much dominated all the way through, up until I don't want to say up until, but you guys handled pretty much every team. A couple, that Namibian game in the semifinals was closer than that score indicated. I believe it was 5-2, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But they were tight with you guys all the way up until like halfway through the second period or the second half. Or you guys got a couple late goals to kind of pull it apart. But man, tell me a little bit about that game going into it and how you had to prepare yourself to play such a hot team coming in, because they not only took out the French team, but they took out the Swedish team. Their only loss was at that point was to Switzerland, and I think that was the first game of the tournament, and they had just an off day that day. I think they may have been a little jet lagged.
Yeah, I believe they're at the same time zone, but still, you have to fly like 10 hours at least. So yeah, it didn't help. I mean, I saw it online. It was like they were ranked 21st in the world, and they finished the tournament number 4. So they got up 17 seeds. It's incredible, and I believe it's the first time in the history of this sport that somebody done something like that. And I think they're doing a great job there, because now, for example, at the All-Star game, I met 2 Namibian guys, and it was great.
Yeah,
great.
I think you had Amandas Rashir, which is also one of the team members on Namibia, and was the Lux, right? Or Lux?
It's Christian and his brother.
Oh, Christian Cotiers. Oh, and JW.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So now I got to know them after the World Championships, and just to go back to that game, we had like at least an hour video session for that game. So we were ready. We knew exactly what they're gonna do, and I mean, we were not surprised by anything they did that game, and we said that with the coaches and our captain. We were just like, after all those videos, we're like, hey, like, we should be better. I mean, they're surprised, and like everybody on every chance, every shot on me, like the fans will be screaming, but hey guys, we're better. We just have to prove it, and that's what we did. And also, I got my first goal of the tournament against them. so everybody expect like something would change, and I was kind of happy. I already got scored on. I mean, everything just fall down and no pressure, and it's just hockey, and it was great. Yeah, they leveled the game. It was 1-1, so they were pretty pumped. But we kept the puck throughout the game, and they only had they were trying to block our defensemen and shoot like over screen. So I was just doing that, and my guys played a great game. I mean, if we played them in the group, we would probably win by bigger difference. But yeah, we were not stressed or scared. But we tried to do our best, because we knew it's semifinal, and definitely didn't underestimate them. So I'm happy for that. That's why we won. But it was a great game. They played great. They have some couple great individual guys, and their goalie was great, playing great tournament. I seen the game against France and only 2 goals against Sweden. I saw the last 5 minutes. He was doing great. So yeah, so good players, good goalies, and I believe good coaches, because without them they would not be able to.
Yeah. What is her name? Oh, God, I just had it in my head and now I just lost it. But she was one of the best Namibian women's players. When
Nadia.
the women's Nadia Schmidt. Yep. When she was coming, she was on the team when I was there coaching in 2012. And a little tidbit of fun there is that JW and Christian was on the team that I was coaching. But the last time I saw them, they were 10 and 8, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah. And the other 2 was Reinhard Bingham, I think he was number 6, and Tio. I think Reiner was a defenseman, and Tio Borislav, the other young kid. Theo was only 5 years old when I was there. So I reached out to him to see if he would shoot out an interview. I don't know if he remembers me, but it'd be kind of fun to shoot the shit with him. But yes, and then but their sister Lizane, she was 4. And she was 5 or 6 maybe, and she's the captain of the senior women's team over there for Namibia, and so it's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
It's a small world. But yeah, so then you get past the Namibians, and then that sets up the mega showdown, which everybody was talking about: Team USA versus the Czech Republic. Essentially, one of you guys usually wins the tournament outright every year. So it's either Team USA or Czech. You guys have such a heated rivalry. Going into that, you have not only Troy Redmond in that, who's, and then you have you, literally the top 2 goaltenders in the entire world. How do you prepare for something like that? Because you've got a loaded Team USA team, you got a loaded Czech Republic team. How do you, because you guys play such a chess match game against them that, and you guys scored early on them as well, which I think was the first time that they had to play from behind. Tell us a little bit about that game.
Well, first of all, it was not that hard to, prepare for that game. I only played against Troy 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. And then all the other games we missed each other, and he's not coming every year to play for Team USA. So it was cool to play against him again. Mm-hmm. And 10 years ago he beat me in the final, so I wanted to do well and beat him back, but I just couldn't. The Team US was really, really good, and we scored first. Nice screenshot, and then we didn't touch the puck that many times, unfortunately. So I just told myself, look, like, we knew USA is a better team, so we can only win if I play great, we play solid defense, and we don't do stupid penalty mistakes. So unfortunately they scored both goals from a tip, so it was tough for me. I could kind of see both tips that they're gonna tip it, but I can't just react to the tip before he tips it, so it's hard. So there was 0 goals in that game. There was like a nice goal or a nice pass and shot. Like, it was like you said, a chess match, but especially 10 minutes to go, we didn't touch the puck because the rink was Olympic size, and with the Team USA and their experience with Ethan, Travis, and I can go on and on, they just kept the puck. They played smart. And we could see today the best team in the world for sure. So it was tough. It was tough for us mentally, because we knew that we need to score a goal and we didn't even have the puck. So at the end of the game, I kind of had to go to the bench and tell them to press, and risk it all. So I make a save, give a pass, and try to score. That's what I did a couple of minutes to go. But Troy was there. Troy was solid, especially mentally. He's great, and he's my personally my favorite goalie in the world in roller hockey. For me, he's the GOAT. So yeah. Unfortunately, it was too hard for us to handle. We were way better. It was, for us and for them, it was the only really, really hard game, and it was the game that everybody was looking for. So, nice final.
Yeah, and it's tough when you have not only, one line that's phenomenal, but then you have the second line, which is phenomenal. That could be just as, they don't have a 1-2-3 lineup. They have a 1-1-1 type lineup. Like each pairing that they put, no matter how you look at it, could be considered a top line, no matter where you place them.
Yeah,
and that's pretty tough.
What I like in Team US before, it was a lot about one line from snipers, second line from black eyes or whatever. But this year it was kind of like that. The players knew each other, but Tim, the coach, he selected players by their role, which I love it. Like you just don't select the top point players or top scorers or top. You just, for example, that guy for sure, Corey Hodge. For me, he's one of the best defensemen in the world. And a lot of people here in France ask me why he's going. I'm like, bro, he's simply one of the best defensemen. He's defending, he's great. And I know with Troy, they're a great pair. And there were for sure a couple of guys that some Europeans didn't even know, but they were doing the job and they were doing what the coach asked them, and they were a great fit for the team. So for me, they were almost unbeatable. We could beat them maybe 1-2 times in 10 games, maybe. But yeah, Team US was the best team, and they absolutely deserved to win it. Even though the score was 2-1, they just outsmarted us, and yeah, they were better.
Yeah. Well, and Haji's been on the pod a couple of times already this year. And he's a phenomenal guy. I actually played against him. My first time, actually my second pro game was playing against him. So he definitely surprised me as well, because he, from the look, he's unassuming, and I don't mean that in a negative way. You have your own type of mindset, like I got this, with him, and next thing you know, and it's like he just comes away with the puck, or he's blocking a puck that you don't think that he would be able to block, and it's just like, okay, what do I got to do to outsmart him, and then work on from that, but. Thankfully, I only had to play against him a couple of times.
He actually came to Villeneuve last year.
Yeah, I heard.
He played the French Cup with us, and he was awesome. Just the way he communicates with his goalie, he's sacrificed himself. That was the quarterfinal of the French Cup. We played in Bordeaux. We only won 3-2. It was a tight game. There was a power play against us. It was 4-on-2, and he made like blocker save with his glove. It was awesome. So yeah, Corey is a great guy, great defenseman, and well, it's cool that you know him.
Yeah, and I think I hear he's coming back to the Italian League after the new year. However, I talked to him, just when he got back from. When he just got back from Italy, and he's going to play with the Michigan Fury, hopefully, with whatever what it got going on, he'll is either going back or he's going to stick around. So who knows?
Oh yeah, I forgot Vicenza because I said earlier that there is one important Italian league. I forgot Vicenza. They signed a couple of players late in summer, so that's a really good team.
Yeah, and he's excited from what I heard. I know when I talked to the GM from the Michigan Fury, he was hoping that he doesn't go back, but you got to go where you can play. So
also Italian league. He can stay in the States for winter nationals and come a little later, but Italian league finishes way earlier than France. When you play finals in France, you finish first or second week in June, but Italy is done in late April, so
Right.
he can play in Italy the full year before the summer tourneys.
Yeah. So have you done any of the summer tourneys here in the States? It sounds like you have, because you know the Black Ice guys, you know the CarShield boys.
Yeah, so I played a couple Narches.
Mhm.
Yeah, I played tours. I won tours once.
Nice.
And I didn't play state wars yet, so I'm working on it. I'm trying to get a team, but it's tough, obviously, for a European goaltender. Yeah. So, yeah, I played. My first Narch was 10 years ago. Yeah, so I played for Pama. I won the Tours Pro with Pama as well. And nice. I played 2 years ago for Conix, Narch.
Okay.
Maybe I forgot. I think I played 3 tourneys, to be honest. Okay. Which is great for a European. There's not a lot of Europeans in pro.
Yeah. What was it like playing for Rob Chorneman? And those Pama boys, because that's got to be a treat in and of itself, you know.
Especially the first time, it was in Florida, Fort Myers, 2014. Yeah, it was awesome. I didn't know what to expect, and back in the days, the Czech League was literally the best league in Europe. Nothing was better. Now it's, nobody really plays roller in Czech nowadays, but 10 years ago it was great. So I didn't know what to expect. And the pro in US was probably even better, because, there was all the teams would be top 4 teams in Czech League 10 years ago. So it was awesome. I played with, Joey Doran, John, and there was so many guys.
There really is. I mean,
it was awesome. I just, I don't know. Sometimes I was like a VIP fan, like watching from the net how they pass and how they score. And I didn't know that you can score from behind the circle. It was just all of them had rockets. They knew about each other. So it was great for me. As I said, I started to play roller when I was 17, but I only started senior in Czech when I was 19. So I played 3 years. And then I came to play pro in the US, so it was kind of eye-opening. Was awesome. It was way better than World Championships, not gonna lie.
I bet. I just interviewed Rob last week, and so I mean, what a great guy. I have nothing but mad respect for him.
Yeah, it's awesome that he asked me to come and took care of everything. Just took care of how everything. So I'm just thankful that he gave me the chance, and I think there are maybe like 3. Well, now it's like European teams coming in, and way more Europeans since COVID. But before COVID, there was me, Brabec, maybe Shimo, and that's it from Europeans. So I'm thankful for that, and he was amazing, and all the guys. So.
Well, I'm excited to be able to see you, maybe try your hand at the Palma Pro Invitational, because I think that would be amazing to see you and some of the European guys get together and try to knock off some of these knockoff CarShield, knockoff Black Ice, knockoff Palma, because I'm a huge fan of high quality inline hockey. It doesn't matter who's playing who. You got a chance to see that with Black Ice and Palma. I thought Palma was going to run away with it based on how Black Ice had been playing that tournament, and then to only lose 1-0 out of insane type of goal too within the first 5 minutes of the game. I thought for sure we were going to see Black Ice at least get 1 back and then maybe go into overtime. But then, you saw overtime with Black Ice and CarShield. You saw overtime, at the Narch finals. You saw overtime at Tours. I mean, it's insane. Like what we're starting to see at the elite level or at the pro level, with you guys playing, and there wasn't really any big, huge blowouts in the upper echelon of those games at the Worldskategames either. Once you got into those tournament brackets, a lot of those games are very competitive. Granted, you had a couple minor, but once those teams, were advanced through, then you really saw some really good, high quality inline hockey.
For sure.
So. Cool. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of GCH Podcast. I'm Ben W. Stock. And Daniel, I cannot thank you enough for taking the time. It is a huge time difference, a 6-hour time difference. It's almost midnight for you. So we should let you get some sleep so you can get rest up for the weekend.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Thank you for the invitation, and good luck with your podcast. And hopefully see you in the summer.
Oh, for sure. I would. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Cheers.
That's going to do it for this episode of GCH Podcast. I'm your host, Ben W. Stock, alongside Chris Greco. Thanks for tuning in. Please make sure you like and subscribe on all our platforms on YouTube and on Spotify. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Cheers.